we literally remember our own college parties where it's like half the crowd wants rap music and they hate when you play dance music.
Yeah.
Half the crowd
dude.
wants to party only to dance music and Avicii and Levels. And half the, I guess there's too many halves already.
A lot of halves.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. A lot of buckets, a lot of halves.
What is up, everybody? My name is Parker Ament.
My name's Danny Ferrari.
And we are Excellent Sound. Today, we have another episode of The Excellent Show
right.
with the amazing DJ duo, Two Friends.
What's up?
Two
What's
buds.
going on, guys?
Yeah.
Two bros.
Hailing from
We've
Los
got it all.
Angeles, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's
Thanks
so
for having
awesome.
us.
Yeah, we're so stoked to have you guys on. We say this every time there's a DJ duo on, but like we love having duos
Oh,
on
yeah.
because
Something
we're a
about a
duo
duo.
ourselves.
Yeah.
You guys know how it is.
Yeah, we've been working together for a long time. But when I was reading up on you guys are coming out of high school together.
Even earlier, middle school.
Middle school.
Yeah. We, 7th grade in LA, grew up together. And yeah, the first 5 or 6 years, music was not really on the, on the docket.
We're
We
just
both had an
friends.
interest in
Purely
music, but
friends.
pure,
Just friends.
pure friendship. And
Okay.
then end of high school, which is around 2011, we at that point we had gotten into colleges. We, less going on at school or sports. We're kind of just like, what's something fun we could do? We're hanging out all the time anyway. We both had like an interest in music in various ways.
Yeah.
Matt was a little more classically, like played guitar, was in the school choir. I had a short stint on the clarinet that I gave up my dreams on after only a couple of years.
Okay.
But we were starting to get into like, we were listening to electronic music, going to some music festivals. And so it was started out pretty spontaneously of like, hey, like we both like music. We're hanging out. We're best friends. Like, let's become a DJ duo.
That's so sick.
Didn't even know what that meant.
And
Nice.
like the concept was way more important than like doing the work at that point.
We
It
had
was
the name before
name,
we
the-
downloaded any program.
we asked my cousin to make us like a logo.
Still somewhere on Facebook.
yeah.
It's like 2 stick figures on a seesaw.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Were you guys
That's
on
kind of a
MySpace
sick
too?
idea.
We were right after MySpace. So,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, MySpace for us, we were
Well,
doing
we were on MySpace,
but not for, like,
not
music.
for
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
So-
my top A was rotating.
So you guys had like a little bit of music experience, but you guys did you guys know that you had to get on a computer at all? Like, did
he
you
was
have that
starting,
idea?
He was really early on like Mashups, and like
Okay.
in our high school, like senior year, it was like he had a moniker called the Friendly Giant, and he was like starting to get like some hype machine love. And,
Oh,
like,
nice.
You know, some
Sick.
blogs were like. None of us knew how to like use computers for music. And we're like,
Yeah.
holy shit! Like, what is this? So sick. And honestly, it was they were great mashups.
Hey,
like,
thanks,
unique.
man.
Yeah, super fun.
Never heard you say that before.
Yeah. And then I guess you just kind of got bored after maybe a year or eight months of that, and we're like, all right, well, maybe we could like, do more.
Right.
And then we started Two Friends.
And I think seeing some DJs was also like, we would go to Coachella, go to the Sahara tent, and it would be like, oh, what? Like, look at that guy. Like, what? Let's be that guy.
Yeah.
Right.
What's that guy doing?
And I think so. Actually, when we first started out, we were making hip hop beats. We got Pro Tools. We Googled. I think the actual Google search was like
How do you make
music
music?
production software.
They
And, like,
took you to Pro Tools.
well, there's like a a Reddit thread or
This
something.
this Google search might be the most consequential
yeah.
Google search we ever done because we're still on Pro Tools.
Yeah.
No
That's
shit.
what I was
Yeah.
saying. I was saying out in the hallway. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
We
you
might
guys are
be-
Charlie Puthers.
Yeah.
We might be the only electronic producers in Pro Tools in the world.
That
Wow.
is insane.
I did not know
But
that.
yeah, and
Okay.
it all started just because, like, I'm sure this happens with some people too. When you hear what program they're on, it's like you dive into it, you get to know it so well
Sure.
that it's hard to make a switch. You kind of
Yeah.
learn
It's just
the
scary.
idiosyncrasy stuff. But yes, we were making hip hop beats. We were doing we would sample indie rock songs and make them into a beat, and then reach out to 300 rappers on BCC and say, "We got a beat. Who wants it?" Weren't making any money.
beat for sale.
Had no real plan, and then we were getting a little frustrated of like, once you made a beat and emailed it to someone, it was kind of like not yours anymore. It's
Yeah.
on their schedule, their lyrics, their whatever.
Especially that time,
Oh
too.
yeah. And I remember we literally had a moment where like one of the dudes was pretty nice about it in hindsight, where he was like, we were given a lot of feedback when he sent back the song.
his verse, and
we're
we're
like,
like,
what if you change this and this lyric? And he was like, hey guys, like, I think you're new to this, so I respect you guys, but like, that's not really how this works. Like, you're just not in like a derogatory way, but it was almost like you're just the producer. Like now this is my song. I'm gonna do my thing. I don't really care what you think.
So we were just like, okay, we need like a little more onus in this. So I think we were starting to get more into electronic music at that time anyway. And we're like, whoa, these DJs, these producers, like they're making this and this is their song, which is cool. Or maybe they're like helping writing or whatever it is. And they might have feature vocalists and stuff. We're like, okay, that's dope. But I think in the beginning when we like wanted to do that, it was like, first of all, Pro Tools, like back then, oh my God, it was not easy.
It was Pro Tools 7, right?
I started in Pro Tools 9, and I still have the CD. So that was 2011 we bought it. And it was just like, all right, this is too hard. Let's just like chop up like Daylight, Matt and Kim and make a beat. And then, 8 months later, we're like, all right, okay, we got to like dive in and figure out what the hell we're doing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it all started.
But it's also, I'm sure other artists can relate too, where it's like it's such a like the beginning for you that there's no standards you feel like you need to meet. So like the first song you make, you're like super proud of, and even if no one's listening or whatever, that's not like you're not trying to sort of like reach a certain standard. You don't even know what you're trying to do.
Right.
So I think that was almost like freeing of like, all right, cool, we made a song. It's not great, but like, let's do another one. This one's a little better. The next one's a little better. We're learning some things. And then, you look back a little bit and you're like, okay, we've made some progress.
Yeah, it's so interesting. That time, it was very weird to be called a producer because the term producer was like a Rick Rubin producer where you're just in the room with a bunch of people kind of directing a little bit, But then there was like the beat makers were coming out on laptops, Logic, Pro Tools, and they were calling themselves producers. So like if you said you were a producer, like nobody knew what you were at that time.
Well, it's just like this vague umbrella term, and then I think it just became like everything, you know?
Yes.
I think it all started to change at that time too. I mean, it was like 2011, 2012. I mean,
Well, we saw it just like in our own high school. We were definitely rare that we were doing electronic music, DJ, producer, whatever you want to call it. Like there were more actual bands, garage bands, and then it flipped so quickly where he had a younger sibling who was at the same school 5 years later, and he was like, everyone was a DJ at that point.
Right.
So I think that was kind of like, a fun time to dive into electronic music.
I mean, it's just barriers to entry. You can like control your destiny a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially when Zac Efron did that movie, bro.
Oh, dude,
that's a great note.
That movie
It's
came out. It
hilarious.
was like,
he
this is
locked
like
into the heart rate.
Yeah.
Oh
dude,
my God.
he was straight in.
Were you guys did you guys play shows as DJs in high school or was that like later on?
Honestly, I would say we downloaded like our first program probably like spring break. So we only had like 2 months of actual high school.
Of our senior year of high school.
Senior year of
Okay,
high school.
okay.
But then throughout, we took a road trip from LA to Chicago, ending at Lollapalooza in our senior year summer. And it was with us and 3 of our other friends. And we would like camp out, but we would like work every day. Like if he was driving in one of the cars, I'd be like working and vice versa.
Oh, so cool.
So we were like super into it that summer, and we didn't really know what college would look like. We weren't like doing music for college. We were just like doing music in college. But that first summer we were like, all right, we like what's happening. We're like, this is exciting. Like obviously no one knew us. We didn't have any beats out there, whatever. But we kind of like when we both split off fall of 2011. 2011. We kind of had to find our way, like the balance of meeting new friends, doing college, producing, and like for me personally, like I like spent 2 weeks like making my friends in college. Like I knew like, okay, I got to do something, and I was still working, but like once I had my friends, I'm like, all right, guys, sorry, man. I gotta.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, literally. I'm
back on the grind.
Back to
at
hibernation.
This. They all knew that and they loved it and they respected it, but yeah.
So you guys went to college not for music.
Yeah, not at
You
all.
guys went to
What was it
separate
for?
colleges
Separate,
too?
Yeah.
I majored in something called human and organizational development,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
like,
Who knows what that is?
yeah, who knows? Who knows?
I did like, it's called product design. It was kind of like an easier mechanical engineering, but like more like design and stuff. So it was cool, but definitely nothing to do with music.
And then we were taking it seriously, but I would say it was more towards the second half of college is when enough momentum felt like it could be something we could pursue like as a career.
Like you could try,
And
maybe. You know?
So at that point, though, we were like, we're on the back half of college. Let's finish up. But day one after graduation, like literally day one, was in the basement studio.
Yeah, every summer too.
Yeah.
Sick.
That's so awesome. How did the live shows come about? Like, did you guys have mashups already? Did you guys have like songs uploaded or?
It's funny. Yeah, we were just
Yeah.
talking about that. Like, I mean, a lot of I think producers in this world find that where it's like, all right, I like making music, I like making edits, I like making remixes, and then it's like someone asks, hey, can you DJ this? I'm like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to like know how to DJ?
Yeah.
So yeah, we were making music, and it was probably like our fraternities were like, hey, you guys want to like DJ this party? And I'm like, sure, let me figure out like how to do any of that. So it was a long, grind. Like
We both got a tractor.
We each had like tractor S2s,
Wow.
and our laptops, and we would do like separate things, and once in a while we'd fly like on a special occasion. But we just kind of like learned on the fly. Like, I don't know.
The stakes were not very high because it's just like, a frat party in your own backyard where
they felt high.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt high, but like,
Yeah.
Frats got money though. Colleges
They
pay
do.
money.
yes, but more that like my frat asked me to play one time. Matt flew out for it. They have all these cables running through the window of the girls' bathroom.
Yeah, yeah.
And anytime someone would open or close the door, the music would stop. And that was like,
I was
like
like,
that's show business.
Right.
yeah.
But yeah, then so it was like, I'd say over the course of college, like freshman year, we did like 2 shows. Sophomore year, we did 4. Then like a little bit. And then, you kind of like, you look back and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, we've actually, we've had some good momentum. We're still not necessarily profiting, but there's some more demand. And it was one of those things with our agent too, where like we were definitely felt a frustration early on of like, why aren't there more offers and festivals? We want to do all this stuff. But at the same time, we were getting hit up so we would just like, we would constantly forward him these emails from frats or
Yeah, you guys
whatever,
get
any
college
event.
scene.
Be like, look, I know it's been hard to book us, but like there is some demand. We're just going to keep showing you.
It was small stakes, but yeah, like I think we kind of ended up just in the beginning just being like negotiating with these fraternities
we
ourselves.
would get on a phone call and be like, we just wanted to make it easy for our agent because we didn't want to give him any reason why it's like, let's build our own destiny here. So it'd be like, hey, we'd send an email where it would be like already pre-negotiated. We'd be like, hey, this is Johnny here. He's at this frat at this college. This is their budget. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. Can you guys
Paper this.
make it a contract? And then I think after a while, they're like, okay, like, I guess there's a little demand. Like, let's see.
Like no one was
Nice.
making a lot of money, but it was more like, oh, okay.
That's
You know,
dope.
trying our best to use every opportunity.
But that's great though because you guys were in a specific time during EDM because you guys were in college in like I'm assuming like 2012, 2013,
right around
right?
that time.
So
Yep.
EDM was just blowing up, and you guys are at the perfect age range for kids who are listening to EDM.
For sure.
And I remember that time because it was huge in colleges, especially around America. So for you guys to be, oh hey, we're in frats, we're in the college scene, it must have been a great
100%.
avenue for you guys to start blowing yourselves up, and it makes sense that that's why you guys were able to kind of get a little bit of traction that way.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, now things have kind of shifted, but of our first 200 shows, I mean, maybe 180 were like fraternity.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's
Too much? Too
Yeah,
little?
that's too much.
All right.
That's too generous?
150.
yeah.
Wow.
Fine.
That makes
Oh,
sense. I mean, I
man.
think that's
Yeah.
I think that's smart. I mean, it
Yeah.
seems like your agent, even at that time, and because
Yeah.
EDM was so new still at
Yeah.
the time,
Oh,
it's like but they don't
completely.
know where the demand is, or it's like
and
new to everyone.
you got to have that attitude of just like we feel grateful and lucky that we were in a situation where like we lived at our parents after college for a little bit.
Yeah.
And like we were able to have the mindset of we could say yes to almost every show.
Right.
And not necessarily worry about paying the bills and paying rent because we
Yeah.
were
Awesome.
at home and not really needing to like make money as the number one priority versus
Put the
try-
pedal to the metal,
yeah.
try every
Yeah.
opportunity, and
there
then
were a lot
see
of
what
shows
happens.
where like after you factor in the flights and if commissions were relevant, it's like, okay, we might not even be making a single dollar, but it's like we gotta get our name out there, go
Yeah.
to this campus, have this FOMO moment, and then they'll want us back. And we would try to take that seriously and like really make an effort to the main point person that was the one booking us, really make it feel special, hang out with them, keep in touch after the show. And that's all part of the grind of like, there's no rules, just gotta dive in and try,
I actually want to like give you guys a compliment too, because I think your guys' effort has been shown. I mean, just alone with your Big Bootie mixes, those are the sweatiest mixes I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's a good adjective.
Yes,
going on.
I got to shout out Dylan for that. He definitely said that. He's like, there's shit. And I was like, it is sweaty.
Sweaty mix.
Because bro, like, okay, so because I want to talk about that. So the Big Bootie Mixes were a big part of you guys sort of blowing up and get your name out there. Did that start in the college scene?
Yeah, so it was kind of, we were, like Matt had said, I had been playing around with some mashups. We had done a few little mashups as two friends in the very, very early stages for like Hype Machine, quick, mashup, remix type stuff. And then as we were starting to produce original music and kind of get a little more into like the DJ electronic world, we had the idea of like, oh, what if we did these mashups, but we kind of formatted it as a DJ mix. So it's an hour long, continuously, transitions into the next thing. And it can kind of be meant to be like, you put it on at a party or a workout, or maybe we didn't even think all these things.
Yeah, at that point, we're just like, oh, this is cool.
But it was kind of in conjunction of like, we're also going to put out some original music. We're also going to do some remixes. We also had a radio show, or our own. It wasn't on the radio, but it was a radio show.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of just like, we liked having a leg in all these different buckets, or whatever you want to call them.
Love legs and buckets.
Yeah,
Legs and
buckets. And so that was kind of just its own avenue. And we didn't necessarily know what it would grow into, but it kind of built up its own little cult following. And it was a cool way where people that only knew us from the mixes could kind of get introduced to the rest of what we were doing, and vice versa. Some people maybe only knew from a couple songs on SoundCloud. And they're like, oh, you also do these mixes. These are fun. And
I
then
think
that led to, or what were you
Yeah,
saying?
I was gonna say, and parallel to that is like, which I think has been cool. It's tricky for us, but cool is like, there are definitely people who never listen to dance music that listen to those.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a gateway in that regard. So if those people are coming to shows, we have to like balance that with like the person who goes to every EDM festival. So it's it's like a fine line that you have to like balance. But they kind of grew a life of their own, and especially when we graduated, when we started getting double digits of them, they really started popping. And COVID was a whole nother level where everyone's at home doing their own thing, and we saw like a whole like new audience surge. And then kind of post-COVID, and we'll talk about it for sure, but like there's been like new chapters each time.
It's cool to see that was like a big way, a non-traditional way. I mean, I think obviously people get known for their music, but also actually that's not true. I mean, like RL Grime has like definitely been known for like his mixes and stuff like that. It's just cool that was an avenue that you guys were able to shine a little bit more, and then also to be exposed for the awesome music you guys make too. A
lot of it was I don't want to say like accidental, but a little kind of it was something fun that we wanted to try, and I think for just who we are in our own like lives, we like so many different genres of music, and it was kind of a cool thing where you're like, we literally remember our own college parties where it's like half the crowd wants rap music and they hate when you play dance music.
Yeah.
Half
Yeah,
the crowd
dude.
wants to party only to dance music and Avicii and Levels, and half the I guess there's too many halves already.
A lot of halves.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
This
A lot of
third-
buckets, a lot of halves.
They this one I went to school in Tennessee and a lot of people want country music. So this was almost maybe it was like subliminally we kind of just realized like, okay, we're gonna have all these different genres, different decades, different styles of music that are blended into like the format of a DJ set, but without being like super ravey, super maybe like a European style of a DJ mix. And I think, like Matt said, that was a cool thing to see is people that maybe weren't super familiar with the DJ world, but they like to sing along, they like to dance, they like to have fun, and it was kind of like a cool way to
something
attract
for
some-
everybody to recognize.
Yeah.
I think that's like the thing about them is that if it doesn't matter what music you listen to or like, you can recognize something from one of those mixes, and I think that's probably why it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what goes into those
Yeah,
mixes?
dude.
Like I
Yeah.
personally have a note of like mashups in my head when I hear something when I'm like shopping.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I hear this top line on this song, like, and I
Yeah.
just put it in my list. Like, how
It's
what,
changed
what
over
do
the
you guys
years.
do?
Yeah. Now it's gotten super intense for sure. Like, there's a whole process, and there's the actual mix side. There's the transforming that into like we have these like Big Booty Land premieres, which are just these like big shows we throw that are like kind of a premiere of the mix, but also just like an iconic two friends show. Bring out everything, and they all kind of go towards the same goal. But it's we're collecting obviously hundreds and hundreds of acapellas and instrumentals, and before like AI, trying to get these acapellas.
I was gonna say, what the
not
fuck
They
did you
used to be
guys
like,
do?
God.
It's so
We
easy
were-
now, though.
We
for
would
that.
be on like
How did you
deep
guys do that?
forums in different languages, trying to like translate these links of like I found
Phase-
this
yeah.
rare acapella
We'd
from
like try to like phase cancel things and be like, oh, that worked on
or
like
there'd be,
the verse. or,
Guitar
like, you know.
Hero
Yeah.
would have like someone would get the stems
that's
from
smart.
the
Yeah.
we
was
had
crazy.
every possible
Random discords, like all this
like
stuff. It's actually insane how that's changed.
And
over
now
the
it's
last
You guys
few
went
years.
in.
we went
Because that
Had
shit's
to.
hard.
And I
I've
remember
tried
it was
before.
a-
It's
So
very
I
hard.
tried
around-
EQ phase.
yeah.
It's fucking insane.
I literally remember it was volume 17 was the first time when we discovered one of those I guess it was like the early days of AI,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, one of those splitter sites. And I remember we just like stumbled across it and we're like, oh my god,
Is that
like,
really 17?
But
But it still wasn't that good.
it was
Yeah.
2020.
Not that good.
It was
Yeah.
on the Super Dope tour.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh my god, like it wasn't necessarily super high quality yet, and it only worked well for certain songs. But it was like, wow, like this one song that we've been trying to find an acapella for literally 5 years. Now we don't need to find it; we could just like make it. So that's, if anything, that just kind of makes that part of the process less of a headache. But yeah, it's still kind of step one is always gathering all the new songs. Kind of what you said when that's almost more impressive that you can hear a song and pair it with another song.
Yeah.
For us, it's more we hear a song and just write it down that we got to do something with, but we don't know what yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be listening to the radio, hear something, write it down. Friends suggest something, write it down. Gather all the material, and then it's just a lot of trial and error. We use Tractor software still to
Wow.
do
Not-
it.
not for
not for
DJing
DJing,
shows, but-
for parent, like it's just kind of a quick way to
Yeah, to
have an
check to
instrumental
see.
and an
Oh,
acapella.
because you could just pull it out,
You
right?
just pull it out, sync it, change the key to match.
Yeah.
Do a super rough, like obviously the acapella will need some love eventually, but
Yeah.
for now, we'll record little segments. So we'll gather like hundreds of
Like 500 at least.
30 to 60-second little recordings from Tractor.
Wow.
Where it might not even be like synced perfectly, and we're trying to like catch up, and
Yeah.
you can tell it's like rough, but it's just the concepts, and it's hundreds on like a email thread, and then we each have to like go through this folder, and we have little like, sometimes we color code it, sometimes we write little notes of like, yes, but find a better drop. No, and it's like we always joke because the mixes are usually around 60 minutes, which is usually 40 to 45 like combos, because each of them, it could be like a vocal on an instrumental that goes to a drop, then it goes to the next combo.
So they're
Yeah.
more like slower transitions then,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And of those 40 to 45 combos that make up the finished mix, like we're sending, let's say 200, and we only need to get 40 to 45.
Yeah.
So it's almost refreshing in a funny way of like, you could literally tell me of this batch of 200, you could tell me 130 are garbage. Like, who cares? If 40 to 45 meet the mark, it's almost like cool. That makes it easier.
Right.
We just got rid of those. Now we could whittle it down and focus on the best of the best.
There's obviously like multiple vocals going on, so then it's a whole arrangement
Dude,
thing.
I love this strategy because when me and Danny are building our live sets, like it takes so long because I'm better hearing it rough on CDJs, just like cutting the lows and just putting them up. And Danny likes using Ableton to kind of mix it up, but it's two different things, and it takes a long time.
It's really
and like
hard.
forever. With Tractor, dude, you could just take out the stem and just do something rough really quick. So I love
that's
that,
right, because
dude.
Tractor came out with stems.
They actually,
right?
weirdly, I haven't really played around.
We do use Nuo, which is one of the they have a few of those programs that actually interact with Tractor. We don't do
We don't do it where it actually like updates it into Tractor, but
So sick, dude.
But yeah, no, the goal is like they're rough. Don't spend a lot of time on making it sound super clean yet. It's like, is this worth eventually
Making an actual
so that we
edit.
get like a blueprint of we know roughly, okay, the first combo is going to be this instrumental with these two vocals. It's going to go to this drop, then this vocal is going to come in, whatever. And then we actually use Logic to kind of like put it all together. And that's when we like, clean it up, make it all.
Well, there's obviously
There's
there'll be a lot of production, a lot of other stuff, a lot of
because it's not just
transitions,
using the
everything.
song. I mean, you guys are adding
We're
impacts
adding
and builds and
stuff,
stuff.
we're
The
transitioning.
intros will be like completely like basically songs, like
So
produced.
it's like, sometimes we'll get a lot of requests at a show, be like, hey, can you make a custom Big Booty mix for my soccer team? And it's like, we don't want to sound, we're
It's so sick.
Okay, the rest of
Right, it's like,
2025.
it
is
takes,
gosh,
they've, especially now thinking about what Matt was saying, thinking about how to bring those to life at like the live show too. And, it's like a 9-month process. So as much as we wish we could just crank a quick one for your soccer team, that sounded weird, but
Crank a quick
Hey,
booty.
man, we all got our.
yeah, it's definitely become like a undertaking, but we have a good roadmap.
So I saw Sammy Vergi play downtown at like some outside parking lot thing, and I noticed that he's doing a lot of key lock stuff on CDJs. So like the key is maybe next to the correct key,
right.
and then he turns it off on the drop so it goes back to the normal key. So he key switches until it
I feel
goes
like
on.
that
So you
could
don't notice it?
I mean, I noticed
I
it.
mean, is
but
it more like rappy vibe, or is it like
it was like UK
right,
140.
because I feel like for certain, especially like a vocal, more sing-along one, I feel like
Yeah.
that could go really badly.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
hear like
Like it.
a straight up semitone down, but definitely for, I mean, we do that for tempo for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever done that for changing the key of an actual vocal. Usually it's just like keep it
Yeah.
and whatever it is.
I mean, I didn't notice it that much
Yeah.
until he would take it off and it would go back into the drop of the original
And that
key.
might have been him trying to get. He might have been out of songs in that key, and might have been him trying to get to the
Right.
next
Well, no,
part of the wheel.
It was
you know
the
what I mean?
whole set. It was
Oh,
like his
interesting.
little
That's a lot.
trick. It was
Wow.
like his trick.
It's risky,
and
but
it
cool.
sounded great. It
Okay.
sounded awesome, but I did notice it. And I just wondered, like, are you guys thinking, is that too far outside of...
Well, so I guess there's a big difference, I guess, for like our DJing and then for like blueprinting the Big Booty mixes, because
Yeah.
there we're changing keys all the time, but
Yeah.
it's like in Logic, not like on the fly on CDJs. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely like we prefer if we don't have to manipulate keys too much when we're making mashups, just because.
you don't want the formant of
Right.
like a vocal
Yeah.
to sound
Oh,
horrible.
yeah.
So sometimes it'll be like, hey, these sound so good together. They are 3 semitones away, which
We'll
I know
try
is a
it,
lot. Like, can you try to, and like, he'll try to put some magic on it. And
You try
you know.
you try Alter Boy, you try Sauce, you try
Yeah, Alter
Melodyne,
Boy,
you
yeah.
try
Yeah.
everything. So like, honestly, the tools get so much better every year that like
Yeah.
you can get away with a lot more in terms of just like, set like 5 years ago trying to like get a song to really like a really good edit or mashup to sound good like 5 semitones away. It's like that's a joke. Now you can like kind of do
Yeah.
it with formatting and all this stuff. So it's
It
definitely
was a
changed.
lot harder. It's cool that technology's finally
Yeah.
caught. Didn't it feel like it took way too long for us to be able to have acapellas?
Oh my god! Now
Like,
they're so
for
good.
sure.
Like, why did it
I
take
don't even need
so
a studio
long?
acapella anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all these
yeah, no,
AI
you don't need. It's like you literally don't need to ask.
So it
You
sounds like
just-
too, like you guys are saying, is like it's more about quantity, and then out of that quantity, you get the best small number of quality, but
Yeah,
that's all
for
you
sure.
need.
I think Matt sometimes makes fun of me for being like robotic about it, which that's kind of how I go about it sometimes. Where it's like, I don't want to get too in my head about everything is going to be the best thing I send you.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I think there's some good stuff in here. And I'm sorry to make you listen to 200 things, but like help find some of the best.
Sometimes I'll like, most of the time I'll have an opinion, but sometimes I'm just like, what do you think? He's like, I don't know, I'm a robot. You tell me.
Like, I've heard it too much. I think it's good, but you can tell me it sucks. I don't care.
That's so awesome, man. So you guys sent us like some previews of a bunch of your guys' new music.
Yeah,
Also, I was listening to the new stuff that you guys dropped, and I love it. First off, I love it. And something I noticed with all of the top lines, I don't know if they're country singers, but it's a very country style top line, and I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
and you're like mixing that with EDM.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of, growing up, actually, like, hated country. I remember that. But I think a couple guys in my fraternity were definitely more, like, from Texas or Central California, and, like, I would just make fun of them. And then, I don't know, something just happened where I'm like, even in college, I'm like, damn, these songs are, like, really well written. So now, like, we don't even, because we're doing, song first, I think, and, like, in this dance pop world, it's like, it's hard to really go production first if you're really trying to like make a song.
Yeah.
We're end up like, we're very open to like whatever genre vocally like we're writing in or people are sending us ideas in. So we have country stuff, we have like pop punk leaning stuff, we have like hip hop leaning stuff, we have more straight up pop stuff. That kind of makes it fresh for us,
No, that's awesome.
More fun.
Was it like a conscious decision, or were you guys like writing and like kind of picking top lines that you really just vibe and connect with?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know which songs.
Oh, so like the Quinn one, the Quinn
one?
song, like there's some country.
Yeah, it's kind of just like
it's not
this, like,
necessarily
right,
country,
but it's like that indie, like really like
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we
nostalgic vibe.
even do that where we call it like a campfire test, where it's like at its core, can you play this song on an acoustic guitar at a campfire and it'll be a good vibe?
I like
and
that.
Love that.
And like, I think also there almost is a little bit of like crossing over with the Big Bootie Mixes, where the idea of like it's a song that you can then dancify a little, but at the end of the day, it's like a song that resonates with people. So I think sometimes when we're writing or thinking about what songs we're working on, it's like, don't worry too much if it's like a dance song. Make sure it's a cool song, and then figure out how we're going to put our touch on it. Hopefully give it that dance, pop, fun energy. But like, we're always a little hesitant to be too clubby or too like straight dancey.
That's always the thing we've been dealing with. It's like,
but that
where's
stuff also
that line?
works sometimes.
Yeah.
It also gives you more versatility for the production.
Right.
When you just have a really good song,
Right.
it'll give you good choices to make, right?
It gives you the opportunity, but then you also like goes back to that other point. It's like, all right, if this person like isn't really into dance music, but like likes the Big Bootie Mixes or likes us, it's like, all right, how do you find something that they like, but also like, the person that goes to EDC likes? And that is not that easy.
Yeah.
But that's the song you mentioned, Way It Was, is our latest single with Quinn 92. That was an example where like, first of all, we love Quinn 92 ourselves, like listen to him for so long.
Yeah, he's
but
dope.
we notice a lot of our fans literally on like Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year, they show their top fives and tag us if we're in it. And it's like probably more likely that Quinn 92 will be in it versus Tiesto.
Right.
And it's like, sometimes, again, going back to like our fans, we have a lot of the fans that do, listen to a lot of DJs, electronic music, but then we have the other ones. So it's like that song was kind of our version of you could come from either side,
Right.
and hopefully
Like you listen on like Spotify doing homework, but like also it absolutely bangs at our live shows. Like we have our saxophonist play the drop. It's like awesome. So threading that needle has actually been, it's probably the hardest part for us to get a song over the hump. Of
and because that's the feedback we get from the the editorial people or the radio people. It's always the phrase like too pop for the dance or too dance for the pop. And it's like a bummer that that's the categories, because that's kind of like what we like. You know?
We like a lot of things, to be honest, but it's just, it's something we make for sure.
Yeah, Parker was talking about how we were listening to it in was it? I think it was. I don't know if it was the track with Quinn, but it's the 140 song that we were listening to. It's like this 140 pop sort of genre thing that's sort of happening right now. Is what you were saying. It's like is that like a thing you guys have been messing around with, like creating more pop music in like the 140
yeah, I guess
BPM?
Waiting for You is even faster. It's what 149 or something.
I mean, we have.
It feels a little bit faster.
Everything's
some of the
going
stuff.
faster.
Yeah.
dude.
Well,
awesome.
it's funny because like the BPMs are hilarious to me because like if you're a song could be at 140 and it can be like fast house or it could be rhythm and it's like those have literally nothing to do with each other.
Totally.
They happen to be the same BPM,
Yeah.
but it's like they could not be further from the same. So it's really if you're going halftime or like full time, it's like a huge way of how we think about it. Like for example, Way It Was I think is like 145 and we have a bunch of stuff there, but even like sometimes during that song it'll be like double time, it'll feel like fast, and then that transition to like that halftime feeling is like a really cool thing.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of the stuff we were making in the beginning and we still make is like more, you know, 120, 128.
Yeah.
Some range in there. And it's a little harder to go halftime in that, you know, to really have that feeling. So it has been fun kind of experimenting more and like honestly I give props to Chainsmokers. Like 2016, like all these dudes, including us, were like progressive house. And then they showed, oh, you can make like a kind of a dance song that's like not progressive house, and it's like really good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not exaggerating. The first from like 2011 to 2016, it was like you start a new project, you get it on the grid at 128.
Yeah.
You have a 16 or 32 bar DJ intro. You then have verse, pre-chorus, hook, build, drop. Like it was like. That's just
formulaic.
You set it up like that.
And we didn't even realize it. We're just like stuck.
Right. And yeah, I think there were credit to a lot of people that kind of made it real. Like, yeah, you can kind of just
You can
if
change
it's cool,
the
it's
BPM.
cool. And,
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And for us, that's always been a tricky thing because like certain things won't be as playable live. You might have to make different edits, not use a lot of the original production in a live version. But in the end, for us, it's been like, all right, I'm not gonna like change this BPM of this amazing song that we wrote or helped write to make it worse just to like fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is like the hardest thing ever. It's like even songs that we've played with in the past were like, oh, I really want this to be at like 128, but it's at 140, but it sounds so slow at 128. It's like, you know what? Just go with it.
Right.
Like, don't ruin the song before it starts.
Yeah.
It
No,
does feel
for
like
sure.
there is like this sort of thing in like producers' mind where we get locked into like this sort of like BPM jail where like
Yeah.
we're not
Oh my
allowed to
God.
do anything
Yeah.
else. Or it also has to do with like you opening up your session and it just being at whatever your stock
Yeah.
session is
Right,
at.
right.
It's like you think, oh yeah, like, or I'm gonna make this type of song today, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, that doesn't mean you have to make it in that like
Yeah.
traditional tempo.
No, totally.
You know?
There's like a way to, it's almost that on the flip side of that is if you just do a different tempo, it's like something's going to be different for you. So that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, you could try something new. So yeah, honestly, our upcoming stuff, there is literally not like a BPM that like is the same. Like every
Yeah,
single
that's what we
thing's
noticed.
different.
Some of the newer stuff.
Which is good and bad. We'll see. Hopefully it still has
Yeah.
a tie-in together, you know, through thread.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So are you guys consciously thinking of what tempos you guys want to go to when you're playing live? Do you guys have like outs or options of like, maybe this is like not really working right now,
Yeah.
so let's
Yeah.
pivot?
Yeah,
For
I think
sure.
we try to think of it a little like we try to not get too many in a row of the same thing. So it's a balance of you don't want it to be such abrupt transitions and kill the vibe and go from something so crazy to so soft. But we try to think of it almost as like little flows where it's like, you know, maybe it was a couple more jumpy house songs. Okay, now you can like kind of maybe slow it down a little, give everyone a breather, and do something cool and more vibey. Maybe our saxophonist comes out.
For like the bigger shows, well, I mean, he's really good at organization. We'll have like crazy ass color coordinated Google sheets, and it's like,
Nice.
well, and that'll help us set the order of like songs for like, you know, huge time coded shows, and we'll
Yeah.
be like, okay, well, these two can't be next to each other because they're both house, but like the same style drop. But like maybe this one's harder. Let's move this, or this mid tempo like banging moment like is dope here, but like
Space it out
you
a
know,
little more,
space
yeah.
it out. It helps us like space things out, and then if there's a horrible transitions like in big shows, like we can make a custom one or figure out how to actually like make it work.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, we are super excited to let you guys know that we finally have launched our YouTube membership page. You guys can now join the Excellent Sound YouTube page as a member and get tons of awesome perks, like exclusive content for your eyes only, as well as access into our guest project files, extra sounds, extra footage, and get your questions answered directly from the pros. You'll also get some extra perks like badges, emotes, and priority comments and chat. But that's not it, and we've saved the best for last. We are gonna match your membership price with a monthly coupon to the Excellent Sound store, which makes your membership essentially free. You can use this coupon for serum presets, samples, project files, and even lessons. Becoming a YouTube member really helps out our channel and allows us to bring in more awesome content from our guests and from us. We have a few different price point tiers and each one is better than the next. So click the link in the description and join our membership now, and let's build this community to be something bigger than we've ever dreamed of. Like maybe like getting Skrillex. I don't know, we'll try to get Skrillex. We get bigger. I feel like he might come on. That might help. Let's try to get Skrillex.
So on these bigger shows, like the time-coded shows, you guys have a drum line, you got a sax player, you got fire, you got everything. Like I watched like the Lala clips, and I'm like, they're crazy. But for planning those shows, do you guys have a music director, or do you have, or are you guys just like going all in and talking to the drum line? And
we had like a music someone wanted a while ago. Like our managers were like, "Oh, we should get a music director." And I think we like were talking to certain ones, and it was so band focused that I'm like, bro, if you can't like get in this DAW and like make this edit, it's not gonna be helpful. You're just gonna like.
There was one where I was like, literally, I think talking about like choreography of like dance movements.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, I have so many other things to worry about.
They're like, we're not really doing a.
Yeah, it was it was called a
movement coach.
A movement coach, and I'm like, dude,
that's crazy.
So I think we have a great team around us, and I think as we do more of these. Like the Big Booty Land shows, always so much goes into them, and some of these bigger festival ones where we kind of have built a great system of like, we are very much in the trenches working with our saxophonist and our drumline on the new moments, but like the leader of the drumline group is awesome and puts in so much love.
But it wasn't always that way.
Yeah, no, we had to find the right people.
We've done 10 shows with him, and now he's like, he takes that onus, and he's like,
we have
amazing.
Like our lighting and visual guys that we work with all the time, where we have a good system. We, like Matt said, we have like spreadsheets. We'll give them Dropbox links to make sure they have the right files. They'll ask questions. You know, they could show us like some previs stuff online. We'll have rehearsals where we'll watch everything and make adjustments. So I think it's always a balance of like, you always want to feel like you never want to like fully leave the trenches and just show up and like, what'd you make for me today?
For sure.
But you want to trust the people that are on your team, and they're there for a reason, and they have like, built their own, like they earned their spot there. They're there for a reason. So I think there's
nothing better than, you guys know too, like having someone that like either grows onto your team or whatever, or like you work with, that is just like so competent that like you just trust them, and like that they're gonna get it to 90% or even 100 without you even doing anything, because the competence is like the biggest.
Oh my god!
And you hate the opposite. It sucks, especially when it's
so sucks.
When it's before, it so sucks.
It so sucks.
Before like
legs and buckets.
You show up like let's say you're embarking on like a bus tour, and you have some rehearsals, and you show up, and it's like, all right, like all this stuff that we've been talking about on emails and going back and forth on, like, okay, now the stage is set up. Let's see how the intro looks. And it's like, it kind of just like flops.
Yeah.
And this is, by the way, this is like not our current group. We love our current. It's like, you learn these things early on back in the day, and it's like, damn, like, all right, the next couple days of rehearsal are going to be extremely stressful because we're going to have to like really go back and forth and get this right. And there's still always work to be done, but it's nice to show up, and it's like the starting point is like, hell yeah, guys, like, let's, we'll fine tune little details, but like, this is going to be cool. And we're starting. From
people don't really think about that. Like when you get to a certain point where you're doing something professionally, like how just finding the right people on a team that you can like trust to make sure stuff is done correctly. And then when it's not done correctly or done the certain way that you want, you have to then take on the extra work because you're trying to free yourself up to do other things. 100%. What you guys are talking about, your undertaking is huge. You're talking about setting up live shows, talking about call sheets and your color coding shit. Like that's a lot of work, man. And to be able to have a team around you that you can fully trust to start taking care of that, and if you put that on there, you can show up and focus on the bigger picture stuff is so important. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult to build that,
it's the hardest thing ever. And you kind of, you build the pieces one at a time. As we've seen it. Like most of the people that have crushed it for us, like over the years, have been, maybe they had experience beforehand, but it's like they kind of grew with us a little bit.
Sure.
Rather than being like this heavy hitter that you're like, this insane day rate that you're starting right there, and it's like, okay, integrate yourself into this. So most of the time, it's been a process for sure, and every year it's gotten a little better in terms of the teamwork. And now that there's obviously room to grow, but like we really like a lot on the touring team. Like a lot of these guys like work together so well that we are getting less and less involved in certain parts, and we can focus on the music side more and stuff like that.
Sounds like you guys are dialed right now.
We're trying. There's always our heads are in too many other things, but you know what I mean. The touring side, it's great. You have a good team and makes things a little.
And it
easier.
makes it fun too when it's like the same group and you get to, go back on a bus together where a lot of people were there last year. You meet up for the, they're not with us every show, but some of the festivals or bigger shows, we all kind of like, the touring crew meets up, and I think you want to make sure it's fun and everyone likes each other. And kind of has become familiar with the project enough where, we value their ideas, and they, when we were planning a new thing, it's like, what do you guys think?
You don't always want to be the one coming up with every idea. It's like too much work, too much stress.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
So while we're talking about live performances, I want to talk about Vegas, baby.
Let's talk Vegas.
We had Nightmare on, and he was talking about like his residency out there. I want to know from your guys' perspective, like, do we just love Vegas? Like, our residency is like the sickest thing, because you guys play
the win, right?
a lot of mainstream stuff, and it's like a party.
It is. I think there is so many pros of Vegas. I think some of them are, you get a new crowd every time. Like most of these people are flying in from different places.
That's a good point.
We do want to switch up the set, but we also can be like, this set or that most of the stuff is like tried and true, and we know it's gonna bang.
Hell yeah.
So that's nice. Definitely like, Vegas is nice. Like good restaurants, good vibe. An hour from LA. Like these are underrated things. You're not in.
You can get back the same day if you wanted to.
We did that last
we
Friday.
have like the daytime. Come back.
It's the best thing ever.
It's fun to test out new. Like it's rare that a new edit or new bootleg or something we do will make it into like our more consistent sets
like an hour or an hour and a half set
without being tested in Vegas, because we're almost like nervous of trying new stuff. I'm like, all right, Vegas, let's see how it does. It's a little like, it's a longer set. It's it's a little, I don't know, I don't have the right adjectives, but it's
leg in a bucket.
Yeah.
Leg in a bucket. It's a leg in a bucket. It's we go in with a plan, and like, here's a lot of songs we want to play, but things change all the time, and it's like,
So we'll try to have a new batch of stuff to try each Vegas, and then we'll literally like the next morning we'll be like, that one, let's play again. That was cool. This one, let's never play again. Delete it.
Let's give this one more try, or this needs a tweak.
This one, the verse was cool, but we need to go to a different drop. And then we kind of see, okay, that one actually has been crushing it. Let's kind of, this deserves to.
It went from the minor leagues to
the big leagues.
That's dope.
So it's like, I like that. So you guys sounds like that you guys use that analogy.
I don't even know if we say it explicitly, but like it kind of just happens. And like, like Eli will send me another set list for like something else. And I'm like, show me. This is a term we use. We call it the bench.
Nice.
And it's every song that is like not in the set that is good. And we're like, because like over years you have so much. And we're like, all right, show me the bench so I can actually compare. Like, I like this song on the bench more than this, or like we played this in Vegas on the bench or in Miami, and we're like, this thing could really crush here. So that helps us shape it, because after so many years you have edits that like, just because you've played it a lot and haven't played it in 2 years, like it doesn't mean it's not great, you know? So you want to bring it back up.
I like that. I like that you guys have your own little like. 'Cause I feel like that's so importantly too, like to have your own like we have our own like little terminology and stuff like that. Like all that stuff is like so important to kind of keep you like sort of engaged, and you have your own little systems that you sort of set up. That's cool that you guys do that.
Yeah, I feel like you guys have a lot of like self-awareness with your edits, with your music, and with your audience. I feel like a lot of DJs might not be as like into that kind of stuff, just like the stats and the numbers and like this really works,
right?
Or they even have a bench. You know what I'm saying? It's either it works or it doesn't.
Right.
There's not really like a maybe.
Yeah, maybe we overthink
secondary
things. I don't know. Honestly,
it sounds like you guys are doing whatever the fuck you're doing
man.
is working. So keep doing it.
And then there's always some surprises where I won't tell them that we're gonna do something, and the best feeling is if it crushes, and I get a look from him,
Yeah.
like, oh hell yeah, and then
There was
obviously the
one
flip
you
side
played-
is it just sucks.
stinker.
There was one you played in Vegas like last month, and you did it just because our tour manager liked the song. I think I liked the original.
I know what it is. It was Jimmy Eat World.
Jimmy Eat World. I love it. Was
Nice.
the middle or something else?
Yeah,
It was. I mean, obviously everyone loves the middle, but I just like personally, I hated the edit.
it went to some drum and bass thing, I think.
But I love drum and bass too. It just to me, it was like this is jarring.
And
like,
our tour
not-
manager wasn't even paying attention.
He wasn't paying attention.
It was all for him because he said like he texted us. He texted us like 30 minutes while we were eating dinner or something. He's like, "Oh, you know what? Why don't you guys ever play Jimmy Eat World?" And I like went back up to the hotel room, found an edit, and I was like, "I'm gonna impress him that he just requested that. And I'm already gonna throw it
Nice.
in." And he was like busy and didn't. And I was like, "Did you like that?" He's like, "Oh, you played it?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm like, come on."
Oh my god, I didn't like it. But like stuff like that, we'll have fun with it.
It sounds like it with Vegas. It's like kind of cool because you guys get to be a little bit more experimental, like a comic going in and trying like new
Yeah.
material, kind of seeing what
100%.
works, and then you're like, okay, and you can kind
Yeah.
of take that with you and add it to your Vegas set or into your guys' own personal
definitely.
stuff.
It is
later
its
on
own.
the
It's definitely its own like crazy world of just like Vegas nightlife.
You get the most fair weather fans ever.
Yeah.
That, like if you're not playing the most popular vocal every time, they tune out. But you also have the people who are like actual fans or like really like dance music. So it's that balance every
Yeah.
time. You know?
Yeah.
It's been a theme.
We on fire.
So we're almost at the mark before we get into our production segments. I do have one last question though, because me and Danny are always thinking about this. As a duo, how do you guys DJ live? Are you guys taking turns? Are you doing two songs? Are you going back to back, one song? Like, how do you guys organize that?
Also, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
How
here
do
we
you
go.
guys produce as well?
Yeah.
Two-part question.
Well,
Yeah.
so the funny thing is, since we've been like friends before we started making music, we like learn things, almost these brains attached. So there's things I never learned because I have him, and
Nice.
there's things he never learned because he has me. So it's almost like we're this like symbiosis that like if one of us dies, the other dies. For DJing, he's such a better DJ than me. So but I know what I'm good at. I'm definitely helpful on like transitioning things, and but at the same time, like I will help find songs like live and like do all that. But it's like if we're both doing it, it's like it's almost overwhelming.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to choose the song. You have 20 seconds
Yeah.
to go do it. But we're tagging stuff. But honestly, I leave it on him a lot of it in terms of like you choose. Here's the options. What are we
Right.
playing next? And then I'll see it. I'm on the mic more too. We're both moving around and interacting and everything, but I will take the mic role and like really hyping people, and he will go heavy on the DJing.
Yeah.
And then
So it's just trust. It's just trust.
It's
You guys
trust. But we
each
know
other.
exactly. Like for example, if I don't do anything, like if I don't touch it, like he's like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like help, give me the reverb, give me the EQs, like filters, all that.
Right.
So, we kind of know what we're doing. Like he's clicking play, and I'm using filters and EQing and DJing on
Gotcha.
that
Dope.
realm of things. Because otherwise, we're both trying to click play at the same time.
So you're
For
okay
sure.
with having your perspective jobs.
Oh,
you both
yeah.
don't need to be doing the same
Yeah,
thing.
and then like for producing, he's definitely more the captain, in chair number one, while
Right.
I'm in chair number two. So our studio was in the Palisades, so it
Sorry.
survived, but it's been definitely tough we haven't been able to go back much. So it's actually, we've kind of been working remote a lot, where we're just each at our own house and FaceTime a lot. We'll go over, once or twice a week maybe to do stuff together. But it used to be, we had our studio and we'd be there pretty much every day together.
The same studio in the basement at your parents'
Yep.
house? That's so sick. You guys just kept it.
Crazy.
Yep.
So this year's definitely been a weird year because our whole like routine got, messed up.
But it's been, but you adapt and like whatever. And because we can work pretty damn well together without even like saying who's doing what, you almost don't skip a beat. You're just like, I know he's grinding, like whatever, do your thing, and he knows I'm grinding.
That's
so,
an important thing to have trust in a duo.
Yeah.
Because when you feel like somebody's not doing as much as you're doing,
That's a horrible.
it can be the worst thing.
Yeah.
But if you know your guys got it, like
we make that joke all the time. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, like he'll text me in the morning and be like, hey man, I think I'm gonna go to Disneyland today. I'm like, okay, have fun. I know you're just on your couch and your computer the entire day.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
I feel like you guys have a really like symbiotic relationship.
I think you learn like you pick up almost without even having to speak it out loud, but you kind of know this is something we're doing together. It's a bigger picture thing. And even with like production, for example, the start of a song, the main ideas, some of the like big picture thing. It's like, okay, let's both put our heads together.
Like, where's this going?
But then, if you're doing super fine tuning details, you don't even, I'm going to go work on, I'm going to go
hear. I want
do
him
this.
to hear like perspective when like actually have someone to show, rather than being like cloudy like me. You know what I mean? So, and vice versa when he's sending me stuff. So
now
like,
the joke. Now we always say like, if we get a text or an email or something, it's like pretty damn obvious. This is, I'll take this one, you take this one, or we both take it. And like rarely, I mean, I guess every now and then we'll let something fester because neither of us wants to do it. But
Sure.
usually
That
it's
happens.
like, okay, this email, hey, he knows he's not going to even worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And
But I think any duo, like if you guys work together, you kind of have to know, or else things fizzle. Like, you know what I mean? Like any duo, if both your strengths are the same thing, then you're too strong. You know?
Yeah, dude.
Or like,
True.
but then your weaknesses are in the same spots too. So it's it's helpful being able to I don't know, like delegate. Like
Yeah.
So you guys have kind of a special situation since you grew up together. But do you guys have any advice for producers out there to kind of meet their other half? Their prospective duo mate.
Can they find love?
Can
Where
they
do you
find
find love
DJ
in a
love?
hopeless
I mean,
In
doing
a-
it with
in
a
a
friend is
duo.
we can obviously vouch for doing it with a friend if you have someone that.
I mean, especially there's two sides of it. One, you guys are both in your avenue doing it. You both know how to produce. You both know certain things, and that's probably the harder one because you probably have pretty similar strengths. You have to really find the
Sure.
right person. We kind of got lucky because we didn't know anything. We both
Yeah.
grew up and learned together. But I would say you gotta have someone that's gonna like work hard. Like you were saying, it's like if someone is a slacker and someone works super hard, it's like obviously it's gonna.
That's pretty much
gonna be a
anytime
breaking
we
point.
hear about like a duo breaking up or not working out, it's always like one guy kind of slacks off and wanted to party too much or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other guy was putting in all. And so I think not that you need to like, you don't want to get into the minutia of like how
does
many
that, who
hours
does-
did you
yeah.
do today?
No.
Yeah,
but like,
definitely
as
not.
long as it feels like it's an equal thing and you both have the same goals and same vision,
Same goals. Huge.
then yeah, I think
We both got skin in the game.
Yeah.
Like, might as well.
Yeah,
try
it's
to make
definitely
it
a
work.
balancing act too. I feel like there are like we've talked about this before. It's like it's never going to be 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
there's
one-
just
you
going to
know
be
what?
time where one of
One-
us is helping as long as that scale is sort of
it could even
balanced.
be a full year where it's like, dude, some of the things that were your output this year were like ended up being a lot more,
Yeah.
whatever. But then like, hey, it's gonna even itself out, and then you're gonna like so. You don't want to have to even like think about that stuff. You want to just like know deep down that you're in it together.
I
and-
feel like you just know.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
kinda, it's not. It's like
For
it's just
sure.
like being in love. It's like you just know, like, oh yeah, this
Yeah.
person's like this is the
Yeah.
right person.
Yeah.
And sure, there is challenges along the road,
Of course.
but like if you know, you kind of probably know right away if someone's going to work as a duo partner.
Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, after a bit.
But I like what you guys said is how you guys kind of like were like, hey, we both have this big undertaking that we're taking on. We both don't know anything about it. All right, I'm gonna handle this, you handle that, or I'm naturally liking this, you're naturally liking
Yeah.
that, and you just allowed yourself to delegate and do what you guys liked, and that seems to work out great for you guys. That's
100%.
awesome.
And sometimes there's probably benefits of people having exact overlapping skills and stuff, but for us, it's just.
So it's a Venn diagram though.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot that
Oh
we
yeah.
do together.
Oh, we do a lot
Yeah.
together, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
no, it's
awesome,
been
man.
cool.
That's awesome.
So I'm really excited to get into production,
Same.
guys.
Pro Tools.
Before we do that, though, is there anything you guys want to tell the people? Do you want to talk about some new music you guys are coming out with?
Yeah.
Just anything.
Yeah, we've been releasing a lot of new music this year. Real quick, it'll be, you said like November, so certain. Okay, cool. So then I'll treat as if we released 2 extra songs.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we've been releasing a lot of music, basically starting the summer to this fall. So we've had 4 songs, and it's kind of been like this new era for us. Like we were talking about, like different vibes, different genres, but like we kind of like want it to all feel like 2 friends. So we have that bunch of big shows and stuff. Like we're always, we have our big Booty Land Chicago thing that's in May, but ton of other cool stuff like we're always working on,
So awesome.
grinding on. So we like to stay busy, and
Good.
stay hungry. It's a grind though. It's fun.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Looking
We're
forward to it.
we're coming to the next show.
Yeah,
Wherever you
I
guys
want to go
are
to
next-
Chicago, bro.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
come
get a
to
Big
Chicago.
Booty Mix.
Chicago,
Hey.
that'll
That
be
would
like
be so sick.
Yeah.
that's like kind of the full scope of it. There-
Of the 2 friends
if
experience.
you want to see, the full experience, we don't go much bigger than the Big
Yeah.
Booty Land.
Okay.
But there's other ones too. Close
All
by.
right.
That's amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for coming
Yeah.
on.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you,
Stay
guys.
tuned for the production segment, you guys, and we will see you on the next one.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Epic.
Nice.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.